Welcome back, basketball fans, to championship action here at the Lutheran Sports Association of Illinois Championship Sunday 2017. Matt, we've got a good one. We're going chalk into the championship today. We've got the 1 seed versus the 2 seed. The 1 seed in the Bobcats from Immanuel Palatine versus the 2 seed, the Comets from Christ Peoria. Neither team has lost very much this year. Coming into this game here, the Comets have not lost. They're 25-0. And the Bobcats come in at 29-2. It's going to be a good one.
Well, this is what you want for your state championship game. Two great teams, teams that have, like you said, haven't lost much, and we're real excited for a championship game. Palatine, of course, we know that they're a staple here in the championship game, and Christ Peoria, the boys are always in the championship game, and they'll be playing next. But the Peoria girls haven't been to a basketball championship game in a while. They're a big volleyball school. They've won state titles for volleyball, but we'll see how they do today in the basketball championship.
And we've got a couple of players to watch on either side here. We've got Ruthie Montella from the Bobcats of Immanuel Palatine and Jenna Beck from Christ Peoria.
Both of these girls are all tournament team recipients from last year already. Ruthie was the MVP already last year as a 7th grader. She is going for back-to-back MVPs. It's only happened, this would be the 3rd time it's happened in the history of LSA. So she's shooting for something that doesn't happen that often.
Well, her and Aubrey Horbeck for the Bobcats have really led the way. Coming into today, Ruthie has scored 39 points so far, and Horbeck has scored 36.
So, yeah, they're both averaging.
Good afternoon.
113, 112. We'll see how those two
Sports
do this.
Association of Illinois. I would like to welcome you to St. Peter Lutheran School in Arlington Heights, Illinois, in the girls' championship game for the state of Illinois. We would like to welcome our guests from around the world watching us on the internet at www.lutesports.org and www.cuchicago.edu/live. A DVD of today's game will be given to each of the participating schools in the coming weeks. Before we begin, we ask that all participants and spectators conduct themselves in a God-pleasing manner before, during, and after this basketball game. The LSA Sportsmanship Award will be presented this weekend to the school whose behavior of its players, coaches, and fans best demonstrate Christian sportsmanship. This game this afternoon will be between the guests on the scoreboard, the Comets of Peoria Christ and the home team on the scoreboard, the Bobcats of Palatine Immanuel. At this time, let's meet the participants for the championship game. First for Christ Peoria, the Comets enter this contest with a record of 25 wins and 0 losses and are the champions of the Trinity Springfield Tournament. Here at LSA, the Comets have defeated Redbud 48-26, Marengo 36-23, and Everettsville 40-23. Now let's meet the non-starters for Peoria Christ. Number 1, 7th grader, Faith Hill. Number 3, 7th grader, Kennedy Fuller. Number 4, 6th grader, Elena Rudebeck. Number 10, 5th grader, Alea Spratling. Number 20, 6th grader, Deja Foster. And number 23, 8th grader, Benasia King. Now the starters for the Comets at a guard, number 2, 8th grader, Denalia Lee. Number 5, a guard, a 7th grader, number 5, Miracle Thomas. Number 12, 7th grade guard, Cami Hess. Number 15, a 6th grade guard, Denalia Craig Edwards. And number 22 at center, an 8th grader, Jenna Beck. The Comets are coached by Terrell Hess. He is assisted by Jennifer Rudebeck and Jarrell Spratling. Now for Palatine. The Bobcats enter this contest with a record of 29 wins and 2 losses. And on their road to the state championship game, they were crowned the champions of the Hales Corners Wisconsin basketball tournament, the Catholic Consortium of Lake County tournament, the Raymar tournament, the Kate Conlin Memorial tournament, the St. Peter and Paul Catholic tournament, and the Bobcat Tip-Off Classic. Here at state, the Bobcats have defeated Bloomington 46-13, Morton 50-36, and East Dundee 45-17. Now let's meet the non-starters for the Bobcats. Number 1, a 7th grader, Kaylee Rowe. Number 3, a 6th grader, Megan Kim. Number 10, a 6th grader, Caroline Montella. Number 12, a 7th grader, Erica Lavelle. Number 22, a 7th grader, Marissa Vodica. Number 23, a 7th grader, Morgan Lind. Number 34, a 6th grader, Casey Erlacher. Number 42, a 6th grader, Carly Grubbs. Number 43, a 7th grader, Anna Medrez. And number 44, a 7th grader, Gracie Gentleman. Now the starters for the Bobcats. At a guard, number 5, 8th grader, Aubrey Horbach. At another guard, number 13, 7th grader, Anna Schmidt. And a third guard, number 14, 8th grader, Ruthie Montella. And a fourth guard, number 24, 7th grader, Brianna Woodridge. And the fifth guard for the Bobcats, number 32, 7th grader, Sarah Sapka. The Bobcats are coached by Heather Glazer. She is assisted by T.R. Turner and J.R. Beckley. The manager is Haley Blaine and the statistician Naya Haralapoulis. Now, as we do at all of our events, let's begin this game with a word of prayer. Dear Lord, as we are about to begin this state championship game, we thank you for all you have done for us. We thank you for the ministry of Lutheran churches and schools and for pastors and teachers. We thank you for the abilities and gifts you have given each of the participants in this game. But most importantly, we thank you during this Lenten season that you sent your Son to suffer on our behalf. We ask that you would bless this game and its participants, coaches, and officials. Watch over them and keep them safe. Because it's in your name we pray and play. Amen. Good luck to both teams.
So let's recap those starters if we can. First for the visiting team, Lee, Thomas, Hess, Craig Edwards, and Beck. And for the home team, the Bobcats, Horbach, Schmidt, Montella, Wooldridge, and Sopkin. Matthew, it's loud, as it always is.
It's a state championship game, Sam. This is what we expect. This is the gym's rocking. Christ Peoria, their boys play next, so they got a good crowd. Palatine lives 2 miles away. They always bring a crowd. I just hope I can hear myself think by the fourth quarter.
As we mentioned before, all the games on Championship Sunday have a 3-referee crew, which has been kind of nice as we've seen in a couple of the games here today.
Yeah, it's great. This is a high school atmosphere. You might as well have the 3-man crew just like high school too.
Wooldridge and Beck to jump at center court. The tip is up, double tapped, and controlled by the Bobcats. Here comes Schmidt. She finds Montella. Montella is double teamed, dropped off to Horbach. Left hand up off the left side is good.
What a great pass. And nice pick and roll.
Palatine gets on the board early. Back come the Comets. Here's a kick out to Craig Edwards. Kills the dribble, now gets it to the corner, finding Hess. Hess will bring it up top, swung back over to Craig Edwards. Guarded closely by Horbach, crosses over back to the left hand, and we've got a carry. That defensive pressure from Palatine is always tough to deal with.
Both teams are playing really tough physical man. As you mentioned, Palatine's known for that. Okay, Peoria played really tight, and they got beat on the pick and roll. They got to be careful with that.
Bringing the ball up is Schmidt over to Montella. Montella the corner to Wooldridge. Back up top to Montella to Schmidt. Now back to the corner to Sopkin. Sopkin back up to Schmidt to Horbach. Horbach just in front of the Peoria bench. Swings it back over to Schmidt. Swinging it back to Montella. Into the post and intercepted by Craig Edwards. And here's an errant pass.
Great steal, but then she threw it away.
She's looking for Beckett. We've got a charge. Montella is physical going to the basket and is susceptible to charges sometimes.
She's going to have to be careful now that she's got her first, especially when she plays defense now. That was a good look, but great job cutting off and setting up for the charge.
And back come the Comets. Here's Miracle Thomas working on that full court Bobcat pressure. Had the ball slightly knocked away by Schmidt, regains control. Now a skip pass across the way to Hess. Hess crossover into the lane, she'll drive. Right hand off the right side, no good. Rebound pulled down by Wooldridge. She's gonna look to push up to Montella, ball thrown away and picked off by Miracle Thomas.
What a great steal. Palatine's gonna look to push, see if Peoria can get some more steals.
There was a runner by Craig Edwards. She missed the initial, got her own rebound, and then traveled.
Peoria's really attacking the man defense, where Palatine last time down was very patient and then unfortunately threw the ball away.
2-0, Palatine in the lead. An early lead with 4:18 here to play in the first quarter. Here comes Montella on the way to the basket outside to Wooldridge. Wooldridge killed the dribble and is faced up by Beck, and she threw it away. Luckily, Schmidt was able to grab it. Schmidt will get into the lane, and she was bumped on her way in by Danela Lee.
Both teams are going to have to be very careful with how they play this physical man. We don't want neither team want to get into foul trouble early.
Sopkin to inbound. Into the backcourt to Schmidt. Schmidt working on Hess. Now over to Montella. Had the ball ripped away and fought for, still loose. And she's going to be tied up. And you can tell these Comets are not afraid of Immanuel Palatine at all.
No, that once in a while that happens when you do play Palatine because they've been in this championship game so many times. But Peoria's going right at them. They are very physical too. This is going to be a physical game.
Here's Thomas handling the ball yet again up top. Swung over to Craig Edwards, into the post to back. Couldn't get a handle on it, and it's a Comet turnover.
That was a good look. Next time, hopefully she can corral it and get it in for a basket.
One foul apiece for each team. Here's Montella. Seemingly met with a double team every time she touches the ball. Schmidt up top, kills dribble over to Montella. She'll pull the three, free throw line extended. Long rebound back, and she lost it. Looked like she went to corral it, might have kicked it a little bit. Either way, it's Bobcat ball under their basket. Inbounding is Sopkin. Long inbounds pass out to Horbach. Horbach takes it left-handed inside, left-handed off the glass and good.
Nice left-handed attack. And she's got 4.
She has accounted for all the scoring. The Comets look to kick it out. Here's a deep three. That one's down the well. Miracle Thomas from about 5 feet behind the arc.
I wasn't expecting that, Sam. She was from that green line, I think.
There's Montella. She'll look to attack with the right hand. Runner in the lane is good.
What a tough shot. What a great player.
And it's back to a 3-point Bobcat lead. Here comes Thomas. Left hand up off the right side. Nice reverse layup is missed.
She could have turned and squared up on that one. That she just kind of flung up.
There's a nice pass up ahead to Horbach. Misses the right-handed layup, and you've got another jump ball. Got to watch out. It looked like Sopkin might have hit her head on the floor. And we're going to make sure she's okay before we continue. As we know,
Coach Glazer's coming out now.
As we know, concussions are something that we take very seriously these days.
Yes, we do. We got the protocol. As a coach, personally, I had to take a a video class this year to kind of be aware of all the protocols now for concussions. So we'll see what Coach Glazer does and the officials to see if she'll come back in the game.
And we hope Sarah Sopkin is okay.
Both sides are cheering for her. What great sportsmanship here at LSA.
And replacing her is going to be Anna Medris.
Okay, ref is coaching.
Bobcat
the ref is talking to Coach about, I think, the concussion protocol. And then we got Coach Buckley over there already talking to her. So great job by everyone to make sure everything's okay before she comes back in.
2:28 to play here in the first quarter. It'll be Palatine ball underneath their own basket after the jump ball. Possession arrow set to change. Schmidt catches in the close corner. 3-ball is short. Rebound Montella up and good. 5-point Palatine lead. And here comes Craig Edwards. Crossing back over, she carried it yet again.
They got to start being careful. You mentioned they weren't backing down or afraid to start. I'm wondering if they're starting to get rattled a little bit. Craig Edwards is starting to yell at her teammate a little bit. Okay, she got a little frustrated with that over back call.
There's a nice block by Craig Edwards. Rebound was pulled down by Woolridge, and she was fouled on her way up. She'll shoot 2. Woolridge coming into the day has been to the free throw line 15 times and is 6 of 15 for 40%. Averaging just under 9 points a game for the tournament. Her high has been 11. First free throw was no good, so the lead remains 5 with 1 to go. Woolridge's second free throw is no good. Rebound pulled down by Beck. And here comes Beck. On her way to the basket. Spin move. Up off the glass. No good. Rebound fought for. Pulled out by Beck. And we've got ourselves another jump ball. And
everyone was swarming that rebound. Great hustle by everybody.
It'll stay on this side of the court. Craig Edwards to rebound. Or inbound, my apologies. Up top to Beck. Beck drives right hand. Spin move. Up in the lane, no good. Gets her own rebound. Had it peeled back by Horbach. Here comes Montella. 2 on 3. On her way to the basket. Had it blocked by Miracle Thomas.
Great hustle back on defense for the block.
And to make it clean as well. You don't see that too often, especially when you're coming from behind like that.
A lot of time you get frustrated and hit the arm.
Here's Schmidt. She'll try another 3-ball from the corner. This one off the front iron. No good. Rebound pulled down by Thomas. She looks up ahead. She's got Hess. Or excuse me, Cammie Hess. And she wasn't able to catch up to it. And it's a common turnover.
Peoria is known for their fast break. They always leak a girl out after a shot. They're trying to push. A little more control and they would have had a layup.
Now the way that Immanuel rebounds on the offensive end, do you think we'll see much leaking out today?
Probably now, but they did that last time though.
Horbeck slipped on her way to the basket. Here's a kick out to Montella. 3-ball's good. 11-3. Bobcats ahead. 1:18 to play here in the first quarter. Here's Craig Edwards in the lane. Right hand scoop shot. No good. Rebound tapped around. Finally corralled by Craig Edwards yet again. Back up top. Craig Edwards will try a 3 short. Grabs her own rebound. That's 3 rebounds for her. Just in this trip alone, here's a jump shot from the corner from Elena Rudbeck, missed, and another rebound for Craig Edwards.
Palatine's got to get a defensive rebound. Great hustle by Peoria getting all the offensive rebounds.
Miracle Thomas tries to get it inside to Beck, does, and we had a travel.
As we know, Ruthie Montella, defending MVP, she's doing it all. She's hit a 3, she had an assist on a pick and roll, she had a rebound putback. She's doing everything, just like an MVP should.
Here's Schmidt crossing the timeline, right hand. Gets it to Montella. Horback will drive left hand on left side, throws it up, no good. Rebound pulled down by Hess. Hess will attack. Crosses over into the lane, up off the glass, no good. Nice rebound pulled down by Wooldridge. Here's Schmidt down the floor. Guarded closely by Hess. Back out to Montella. Montella will drive into the lane. Right-hand runner is good. Such a soft touch when she gets in the lane.
What a tough shot, though. I didn't know how she made that.
Craig Edwards having some trouble getting it across half court. Throws up a shot and doesn't hit anything. And we'll go to the second quarter. Palatine leading by 10.
What a great first quarter. Both teams are going to be passing out by the fourth quarter if they keep this up. Going up and down the court, playing that hard man. We're going to need some extra timeouts later, I think.
Well, don't forget to follow the LSA on social media. Like us on Facebook. You can find us at Lutheran Sports Association of Illinois. And while you're at it, make sure you follow us on Twitter as well. We are at Luth Sports. And our website, as has been mentioned quite a few times today, www.luthsports.org. And while you're there, take a look at some of the brackets from past tournaments, MVPs, as well as a couple of records that we had to look up today because we had a record almost broken in our first game. But while you're there, take a peek. See if you might know somebody that played here once upon a time. As we head into the second quarter, what does Peoria have to do to cut into this 10-point deficit before halftime?
It's going to be hard, Sam, but I think they got to keep their composure. You can't let Palatine kind of wear you out and get in your head, and keep pushing. Like you said, if they can get that offensive rebound and maybe get an easy bucket here, that may help. Got to try to swing the momentum because Palatine really pushed it at the end of the first quarter.
Montella inbounds to Schmidt. Schmidt back to Montella. Kills her dribble, back up top to Schmidt. She threw it in the backcourt. And we're going to have an over and back. And a Bobcat turnover. It's Craig Edwards to inbound. Gets it over to Miracle Thomas. Guarded closely by Schmidt. Here's a jump shot from the corner, no good. Rebound pulled down by Woodward. She was knocked down, ball came loose. And we're going to have another jump ball. And things are getting a little physical when that ball hits the ground, as we've seen one player leave the game already after hitting her head pretty hard.
We're at the state basketball championship, Sam, right? Not state wrestling? That was a 2 point for takedown, I think.
So it'll remain Comet basketball. Craig Edwards to inbound. Throws it up top to Thomas. Thomas working on Schmidt. Tried to get the ball down into Beckett. It was knocked away. Horbach was bumped by Craig Edwards. And we're going to have our fourth foul of the contest. Third on the Comets. And that was Craig Edwards' first.
She's got to control her emotions. Emotion's good at times, but she's got to be careful. That was kind of a silly foul. Refs are talking to the players about that extra pushing and shoving before the ball gets passed in.
Here's Montella. Gets it inside the three-point line, hands out to Horbach. Horbach's nice bounce pass over to Medras. She lost control. And we've got a push underneath. Was it out of bounds? I couldn't. It must have been out of bounds.
Looking like out of bounds.
I saw the hand come out like it was a push.
She dribbled out of bounds.
Here comes Thomas. Left hand across the timeline, crossing over Schmidt. Gets into the lane. Left hand off the left side. No good. Rebound pulled down by Medras, and we're going to have another jump ball. What's great to see is the hustle. Every time there's a loose ball, both teams are jumping on it.
There's like 3 or 4 players on every loose ball. That was a great attack. She just got to get up a little higher. Those layups will fall if she continues to attack.
And here's a near steal, but still a turnover for the Bobcats, as they were looking for Horbach in the short corner, and was first tipped by a Comet player, and then Horbach touched it out of bounds to the Comets. Just under 5 here to play in the first half. Palatine holding on to that 13-3 lead. Here's a deep inbound to Beck. Beck on her way to the basket. Little Euro step and right hand off the left side was Beck. Beautiful move.
Great way of breaking the press. Nice over-the-top pass and a great layup.
And here's Schmidt breaking down the two defenders up top to Horbach. Off the block, jump shot was no good. And we're going to have a foul on, I believe that was Craig Edwards. That'll be her second, team fourth. And we're going to get a sub, as I believe Craig Edwards will take a seat after picking up her second. That is Benasia King. Benasia King checking in for Denali Craig Edwards. Bobcats to inbound. Medris finds Woldridge over to Montella. Montella swings it around to Schmidt. Schmidt looking inside, finds Horbach. Horbach left hand into the lane, left hand runner short, might have been blocked. Woldridge pulls down the rebound. She'll try to go up and is fouled. It's going to be Benasia King who got Woldridge after she collected the offensive board.
Great job of, sometimes, a lot of kids will want to kick it out or whatever. Great job of getting that rebound and putting it right back up.
Her first free throw is off the back iron, no good.
She's got to take a deep breath, gather herself. She's 0 for 3 today. Let's see if she can get her first free throw for the day.
Woldridge's second is up and no good. Rebound pulled down by King. Here comes Hess. Hess into the lane. Up off the glass, no good. Tapped out, last touch by Woldridge. It'll remain Comet basketball.
That was nice how she kind of slid right through. The couple girls were looking to take the charge because she was coming down very hard, but she took a nice little step to the left and nice shot.
Here's back off the inbound. Pull-up jump shot is short. Rebound pulled out by Horbach, and we've got a steal. Here's Beck into the lane. Right hand up, no good. Another fought-for rebound, and it looked like King fell out of bounds with the basketball. So possession to the Bobcats. Still nursing that 8-point lead, 13-5, 4:03. Now just 4 minutes to play here in the half. Here's Schmidt. Over to Horbach. Horbach to swing pass to Montella. Montella in. She's fouled. Throws it above the glass. No good.
With that makes the 6th team foul for Peoria. With 4 minutes to go, they just shifted into a zone so that I think hopefully they won't get so many fouls.
Aliana Rudbeck picked up her first foul on Montella. Montella's second is up and good. And here comes Craig Edwards checking back into the game. After she picked up her second, she was replaced by King. But they really need her ball handling against this press.
It'll be interesting to see if we see quite a bit of an offensive-defense substitution so she doesn't get her third.
Here comes Craig Edwards. She was looking for Miracle Thomas on a low pass, missed her out of bounds. And Terrell Hess wants to talk it over just a little bit. Maybe calm his team down just a tad.
They had a couple of them chatting with each other after that last turnover. We've mentioned the way Palatine plays that defense and things, they frustrate you, and you got to keep your composure and kind of ride the waves. And we'll see how Peoria comes out of this timeout, see if they can play some good zone defense, get a rebound, see if they can get a basket.
Folks, remember, state 2017 track and field will be held May 20th and 21st at Concordia University of Chicago. Check the LSA website. We'll give it to you one more time, www.luthsports.org, for qualifying times and distances.
That's always a great weekend, too, for the state trackers as we finish up state basketball for the weekend.
There's Schmidt over to Montella. She'll cross the timeline right side just in front of the Peoria bench. Over to Madras in the corner. Madras will kick back out to Montella. Montella drives, baseline right hand. Thought about kicking it over to Woolridge. Lost control, and here comes Hess. Hess on Schmidt. Up, off the glass and good.
Nice crossover.
Went to the basket under control that time, and it made
nice
all the difference in the world.
Good crossover.
Bobcat lead down to 7. Here's Schmidt driving, had it poked away by Beck. And they're going to get Beck for a reach. That's foul number 7, which means the Bobcats will be shooting 1-1 the rest of the way. And headed to the line is Anna Schmidt for 1 in the bonus.
She is 3 of 7 from the line coming into this game.
Her first free throw is no good. And rebound pulled down by Wooldridge, partially blocked by Beck. And here comes Beck down the floor. Working on Montella up the left sideline. Spins back to the middle with the right hand. Now over to Craig Edwards. She'll launch a 3. That one is short. Nice rebound by newly checked in Alea Spratling. There's a jumper, no good. And another offensive board for the Comets. Thomas back over to Spratling. Spratling, a nice crossover into the lane. Kick back out to Craig Edwards. Swung back around to Miracle Thomas. She'll pull a left-handed 3. Good. That's her second 3-pointer. And the Bobcat lead is now 4.
Palatine's going to have to start getting that defensive rebound. Peoria had 4 offensive rebounds on that one, I think, to get that 3-pointer.
Here's Horbach looking to go baseline. She'll kick it back out to Montella. Over to Schmidt just in front of the Comet bench. Back to the top of the key. Montella holding. Now puts it on the floor. A couple of dribbles back to Schmidt. Schmidt drives. Tried to find Wooldridge in the post. Couldn't do it. Here comes Hess the other way. And we've got a foul on Schmidt. It looked like she reached in on Hess as Hess was trying to cross over. That'll be Immanuel's second foul of the half.
Yeah, she was looking for that nice crossover. Couldn't quite do it because she got grabbed.
Craig Edwards inbounds to Spratling and she throws it back court.
It's always tough with that inbounds play on the side. She caught it. She saw her teammate didn't realize where she was and threw it over back.
Here comes Schmidt, just under 2 minutes. 2 minutes to play in the half. 14-10, Bobcats on top of the Comets. Here's Schmidt crossing over. Kills the dribble, tried to get inside, had it knocked away by Craig Edwards. Schmidt regained it, got it to Horbach. Horbach tried to drive, she kicks it out to Montella. Montella right hand pull-up jumper, that one is short. And rebound pulled down by Beck. Beck up ahead to Thomas. Thomas looking for control. And I believe it was last touched by the Bobcats. It's going to be Comet ball on the side. Kind of a tough one to see there. It looked like both hands went in for it and it just popped out of bounds. I couldn't tell.
It was hard. We got a lot of Palatine fans thinking it should be the other way. Still talking to the refs, I think.
But that's why these guys are getting paid for this game and I'm not. Here's Beck into the lane with the right-hand runner. No good. Rebound pulled down by Spratling, and we're going to have a tie ball, but it's going to stay down here with the Comets.
You mentioned before, every time a shot goes up, you got 4 or 5 girls going for that rebound.
And checking back in is Sopkin. Good to see she's okay after she took a little bit of a spill early on in the first quarter. Craig Edwards to rebound, or inbound, out to Spratling. Spratling reached in on by the recently checked in Sopkin. That'll be the 3rd foul on Palatine. Spratling is going to come out as Danela Lee checks back in. And we're going to have a second foul on Sopkin as she pushed Lee as Lee tried to come around a screen.
We've talked how physical it was, and Palatine only had 1 foul up until about a minute ago. So the refs are trying to control that, the physicality.
Craig Edwards inbounds to Miracle Thomas. Thomas crosses over Schmidt, pulls up a 3. Back iron, no good. Rebound tapped around, pulled down by Beck. Knocked away from Beck, picked up by Montella. And Beck with a little bit of a body check on Montella. She was coming up the sideline, and she'll go to the line for 1-1.
You didn't really want Montella coming up with the fast break, but I'm not sure if you really wanted that foul at that point either.
So Beck picks up her second. Minute 11 to play. Free throw is no good. Rebound pulled down by Thomas. And the Comets will slow it down just across half court. And she tried to cross over Schmidt, and Schmidt whipped to the ground hard, and we're going to have a foul on Thomas.
She tried the crossover, and she crossed over right into the defender. Great defense.
And Schmidt will head to the line for another 1-and-1. It's the 9th foul on Peoria, so one more, and Palatine will be shooting 2 the rest of the way. And we have a stoppage of play. I think we're trying to get the foul count correct. On the board, it says it's 9-4. And that is the 9th foul. It has been confirmed, so it will be a 1-and-1. Schmidt looking to extend the Bobcat lead just a tad. Her first free throw is long, no good. Rebound pulled down by Beck. Beck across the timeline with the left hand, finds Miracle Thomas. Crossover on Schmidt. She'll drive right hand into the lane, throws it up to the left hand, no good. Rebound pulled down by Wooldridge. Wooldridge up ahead to Montella, had it poked away by Hess. And Montella ran into a Comet defender and just lost control of the ball. Here comes Hess into the lane. Nice move, right hand on the right side, good. And we've got a 2-point ball game.
Like you mentioned, Montella saw the girl open on the opposite block. She just couldn't get the pass to her.
Speaking of Montella, she's got the ball on her way to the basket. Right hand on the baseline, and she's traveled. Dragged her back foot when she killed the dribble. And the Comets have a chance to tie this basketball game going into halftime.
That would be great for Peoria for their confidence, because they were down. You know, we talked going into the quarter. They were down big. They kept their composure, see if they can tie it before halftime.
Thomas has got to get it across half court. Can't. Tried to hand it off to Craig Edwards, and Schmidt jumped in and got a hand on the basketball. Tie ball will stay on this end with the Bobcats.
This will be huge for Palatine, too, if they can get a bucket now, thinking that maybe it was going to be tied. If they could go into the locker room, up 4 or 5 would be huge, too.
Montella with 12 to go on the clock. Schmidt kicks it on over to Sopkin. Sopkin over to Horbach. Horbach left hand, left side, long. Rebound pulled down by Beck. She'll push it to half court, launches a 3, no good. Threw it a long way, but ended up wide right. So we've got ourselves a good basketball game. We kind of called it before it started, though, so I think we know a thing or two. We'll go into halftime. Immanuel Palatine 14, Christ Peoria 12. After one half of play here in this 2017 championship game at the Lutheran Sports Association of Illinois 2017 Championship Sunday, we've got ourselves a 2-point basketball game. The Bobcats of Immanuel Palatine lead the Comets of Christ Peoria 14-12. We talk about basketball as a game of runs. And to end the first half, Peoria went on a 9-1 run to cut this to a 2-point game.
Well, we talked at the end of the first quarter. It was 13-3. We're like, hey, what's Peoria going to do? It's looking like a runaway. And then, like you said, the ups and downs of the game, Peoria had a 9-1 run in the second quarter. So we'll see how momentum maybe swings back to Palatine in the third, or we'll see how things go. One thing Palatine's going to need to do, we always talk about, these tough games, free throws count. Okay, they're 1 of 9 from the line, and free throws are going to win and lose games, and we'll see if they can make some free throws because they're attacking the basket. They're getting fouled. Okay, Peoria's kind of in foul trouble. They got 3 girls with 2. So that if they continue that, they can really build this lead if they can make their free throws.
And for Palatine, we talked about the scoring and how it's been, distributed. Only 2 players have scored.
Right.
Montella's got 10. Horbach's got 4.
Right. We mentioned the reigning MVP, Ruthie Montella. She has 10. She's doing a great job. She's passing and scoring. And then Aubrey Horbach scored 4 right away early in the first quarter. And maybe they got to get her some buckets as well.
And we talked about Beck for the Comets before the game started. She only has 2. So if they can get her going, who knows what the Comets could do here in the second half.
Kind of hard to score when you got the reigning MVP guarding you, though.
There's Miracle Thomas into the lane. Left hand up, no good. Rebound pulled down by Schmidt. Schmidt over to Montella. Kills the dribble, now back over to Schmidt. Schmidt setting up the play. Gets in the lane, kicks it out to Wooldridge. Wooldridge had her pass tipped by Lee on its way back to the top of the key.
Peoria's back in that 2-3 zone. They started out in man, but they've played zone in the second quarter when they made their run.
Wooldridge had the ball knocked out of her hand. She regained control on her way to the basket, missed the layup, and the rebound is out of bounds. Last touched by the Comets.
Peoria sticking what works. They gave up 13 points in the man, gave up 1 in the zone, so they're sticking to the zone right now.
The inbound pass is handled by Horbach. She kicked it out to Montella. Montella now back to Horbach on the baseline. Right-handed runner on the left side is no good. Rebound pulled down by Sopkin. She had her shot blocked by Beck. Beck with the nice defense underneath, and back come the Comets. And here comes Craig Edwards with a nice crossover, now kicked out to Thomas. Thomas's 3 ball is short and out of bounds.
Thomas made 1 3 in the second quarter. She was going to see if she could give that one another try.
And here comes Schmidt, directing traffic, gets it to Sopkin, over to Horbach. Free throw line extended. Now a skip pass is knocked away by Beck. And Beck's going to get hit with, I believe, her 3rd foul.
You got to be careful with that skip pass, but luckily they were able to get back with their 3rd foul, though.
So Beck, the first player to have 3 in the contest, as Horbach's right-hand jumper off the left side is good. 16-12 Bobcats.
We mentioned...
And back quickly comes Hess. Hess right hand on the right side. Missed the layup, but is going to go to the line as she was fouled by Wooldridge.
We mentioned that Palatine needed to get Horbach back on the board. She scored 4 early in the first quarter. Now she's got the first 2 in the third.
So Cammie Hess will go to the line. She is 4 of 16 coming into the contest, shooting at 25%. Her first free throw is no good.
That was their first free throw of the game. We mentioned Palatine struggles at the line. Peoria too. They could help themselves if they make some free throws.
Hess looking to make this just a 3-point game early on here in the second half. Free throws up and no good. Rebound Horbach. And the Bobcats will push. Montella on her way to the basket. Runs over. I believe that was Hess that got back and drew the charge on Montella. That'll be her second.
Palatine coaches don't agree.
As we did say, she does go strong to the basket. And if you do set up, a lot of times they can't admit. Here's an errant inbound pass, stole by Schmidt. Back to Montella. Her pull-up jumper in the lane is no good. Rebound pulled down by Wooldridge. Goes back up, and she was fouled by Hess.
I'm surprised Montella missed that. That's a great shot for her. She's already made a couple from there. But great rebound and put back by Wooldridge and created the foul. We talked about the foul trouble Peoria was in the first half. It's going to happen again in the second half.
Wooldridge's first free throw is up and no good. As she is now 0 for 5 from the line. So the free throw woes continue as Palatine is now just 1 of 11.
Whoa.
And we're going to have an illegal screen on Craig Edwards.
You can't do that right in front of the Palatine fans. They yelled it. The ref saw it. She did kind of turn. She's got to stand still. She threw that shoulder.
And that's going to be her third. So she joins Beck as the only 2 players in the game with 3. So Sopkin will inbound after the illegal screen. Gets it into Montella. She'll pull a 3. No good. And here comes Beck. Beck. Left hand to the left side. Had the ball knocked away by Woolridge. Got the loose ball back up off the glass. No good. Gets her own rebound. Second attempt is no good. Rebound Schmidt. Here comes Schmidt weaving through Comet defenders. We've got a steal by the Comets. Rudebeck up ahead to Hess, and we've got a foul on Schmidt. This is getting back and forth here.
My head's on a swivel right now. All that back and forth, the fast break, the steal, the fast break, the foul.
I thought track didn't start until May, but I could be wrong.
We knew this was going to be a track meet, even though the official track meet doesn't happen until May.
Rudebeck right hand crosses over Sopkin, gets into the lane, had the ball knocked away, and we're going to have a jump ball, and it's going to be Bobcat basketball.
The 2 smallest girls on the court, on the floor, going off after that loose ball. What great hustle.
16-12, Bobcats still ahead, just about halfway through the third quarter. And Horbach's right hand floater off the left side is good. 6-point Bobcat lead. Craig Edwards with a nice crossover. Had the ball knocked away momentarily. And out of bounds. It'll stay with the Comets. Craig Edwards inbounds to Rudebeck. Rudebeck over to Hess. Hess's jumper is long. Montella the rebound. And the Bobcats looking to get it up ahead to Woolridge. Lost it momentarily. Tried to go up and drew the foul on Craig Edwards, and that's her 4th. So we have official foul trouble for Denali Craig Edwards. And
Peoria was hoping there were 2 girls on that.
Lee will check in for her.
They were hoping Miracle Thomas would have fouled on that one because there were 2 girls close. But you got to hustle back on transition.
And Woolridge hits her first.
We talked about the ups and downs. Now it's up for Palatine.
And the second free throw is no good. And Palatine secures the rebound. Horbach went up, missed. Montella grabs the board. She went baseline. Left-hand runner's no good. Woolridge up and good with the and one. She grabbed the O board and was fouled on the way up and connected. And that gives Palatine a 9-point lead. And Hess needs a timeout. He's going to take we're taking a full timeout. Just under halfway here to go in the third quarter, and Palatine has now started to play Palatine basketball.
Well, we talked about the runs, though, too. You know, we said that in the first quarter where they jumped out into a great big lead, and then all of a sudden Peoria came back in the second quarter. Peoria's hoping maybe they like the even number corners or whatever, but not all lost yet for Peoria. They got to compose themselves, though. They're very frustrated now with the foul troubles. Palatine, though, like you said, they're playing Palatine basketball now and getting back. We got Horbach with 4 points. Woodridge is getting rebounds and putbacks. Montala's just passing the ball right now and dictating everything.
So the free throw disparity disparity as I'm looking at the score sheet here. It's 14-2. Palatine has taken 14 free throws. The Comets have taken just 2. So what does that tell you?
Well, we talked about the putbacks, the rebounds, the box outs, and even the attacking. I mean, everyone is attacking, but Palatine, I think, is getting more of those fouls called off the rebounds and some of the transition game as well.
Woolridge's free throw is good. 10-point Bobcat lead. Checking back in is Benaja King. There's the inbound. Miracle Thomas goes behind the back on Schmidt. Gets across the timeline with her right hand. Schmidt reaches in and takes the ball. On her way to the basket. Had the ball knocked away by Hess. And Hess is called for the foul. Schmidt will go to the line to shoot 2. And already 6 fouls for the Comets in the second half, and we're just under halfway through. Schmidt's first free throw is no good.
You know, we talked about how physical it was, and the refs are calling it. And we said Peoria was in foul trouble to start the half, and it's just continuing.
Only Hess's second, but it is the team's 6th. So they will be shooting 1-1 the rest of the way. Schmidt connects on the second. Spratling inbounds to Beck. Beck across the timeline with the right hand. She'll enter the lane. Runner is no good. Rebound pulled down by Montella. Montella head up the sideline. Right into the lane, loses control, tried to go up, had it blocked by Spratling. And Lee is going to look to push for the Comets. She'll slow it down, kick it out to Beck. Beck pump fake up to Spratling. Spratling with some nice dribbling up top. Right hand floater up off the glass, just a little bit too hard. Rebound out to Beck, her jump shot is good.
That's what Peoria needed. They had to get a basket in this corner. Palatine came out hot so fast. I think that basket hopefully will calm them down a little bit.
And you'd like to see Beck get hot if she can. And we're going to have a push on Beck, and that'll be her 4th. So 7 fouls now, and we still have 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. These next 2 quarters could take some time. With all the free throws we might be shooting.
And Peoria may run out of players too.
As they now have 2 players in dire foul trouble. Beck and Craig Edwards both with 4.
2 crucial girls. Once they get back in, they're going to have to control themselves so they can get the scoring on.
Horbach's free throw is good, and the bonus upcoming. So the free throw disparity keeps growing as Horbach digs in for her second. It's up and good. An 11-point Bobcat lead. As here comes Miracle Thomas across the timeline, working on Schmidt. She'll get it over to Spratling. Spratling with a quick move on Sopkin. Pulls the dribble back out. Picks up a screen from Thomas. She'll get it back to Thomas. Thomas will take another deep 3. That one is short. Spratling fighting for the rebound. Tried to save it. Stepped out of bounds. And it'll be a Bobcat basketball.
We've talked about those offensive rebounds by Peoria. They got another one.
And Erica LaVale will check in for Sopkin for the Bobcats. LaVale inbounds. Finds Horbach. She'll cross the timeline. Enter the lane, left hand runner out the right side, no good. Wooldridge is put back, nope. Montella's put back, no good. Rebound, fought for and grabbed by Hess, and we have a foul. Push foul on Montella, and that'll be her 3rd. So the first Bobcat player with 3. And here comes Thomas. And has the ball almost taken away by Schmidt, and it's going to be ruled a jump ball.
She did a spin move right into the defender, and they got the jump ball call.
And it's going to remain Comet basketball.
Montella's got to be careful too. I mean, she's the one that controls everything for the Bobcats. They got to keep her on the court.
Inbound to Rudebeck. Rudebeck kills her dribble, now back up top to Thomas. Thomas holding. Minute 14 to play in the third quarter. Tried to cross over on Schmidt, had it taken away. We've got another jump ball. And checking back in is Craig Edwards. She's got 4, but she's still going to check back in as they need somebody to handle the ball.
Yep. Well, Anna Schmidt's playing some amazing defense. Anytime they're Peoria's looking for a crossover, she's right there stealing the ball. They can't do any crossovers.
And checking in for Christ Peoria is number 1, Faith Hill. Faith Hill will replace Miracle Thomas. .109 here to play in the third quarter. 25-14. Palatine ahead. Here's Montella. Right hand up off the glass and good.
They had some defensive confusion. No one was guarding Montella.
And here's Rudebeck with Horbach with a steal on the inbounds pass up off the glass and good. And Terrell Hess needs another timeout as his team is now down 15. So after Peoria went on a 9-1 run to end the second quarter, Palatine's gone on a 15-2 here in the third.
We talked about the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows or whatever. You know, hopefully maybe Peoria can maybe get something back in the fourth quarter, but you got to be very careful. We got the people to my right, the Palatine's going crazy right now with this big run. It could get really out of hand soon.
.7 seconds to play here in the third quarter. And Palatine is starting to pull away. So again, the foul situation, we'll read that off to you. 7 fouls on the Comets to just 4 for the Bobcats. 2 Comet players have 4 fouls. Both Craig Edwards and Jenna Beck with 4. And the clock has started, but we need to stop the clock and run that back. Got a little trigger happy. And Kennedy Fuller has checked in for the Comets. So they only have, I believe, 1 starter in the game, and that's Lee. Do the Comets, as it looks like they might be giving their starters a rest.
They're trying
for a fourth quarter push.
I think they're looking for that fourth quarter push. See if they can at least.
Fuller tried to get it in.
They don't want to throw it away too much, but
to Faith Hill, and she kicked it out of bounds.
You can't have. Oh, and here they come. You don't want it to be a 20-point lead by the quarter, though. So here comes the starters.
Craig Edwards, Hess, Beck, as well as Miracle Thomas will check back in for the Comets, replacing everyone but Lee. There's a long inbounds pass from Sopkin to Schmidt. She'll pull a 3, no good. Rebound tipped around and finally corralled by Beck. Beck will work down the floor with 45 seconds to play in the third quarter. Kills her dribble, long skip pass over to Craig Edwards. Back up top to Thomas. Thomas tried to get it into Hess, and Horbach knocked it away. Horbach on her way to the basket. Left hand was partially blocked by Thomas. A couple of putbacks for the Bobcats, nothing, and an outlet pass to Hess. Hess loses control, and that one's going to go out of bounds. It'll be Bobcat basketball. Good idea trying to leak out to get quick, easy points. Just got to control the ball.
But we talked about Anna Schmidt being everywhere on those crossovers. Same situation. The girl thought she had a great fast break, and Schmidt just came out of nowhere and kind of didn't really trip her, but caused her to flub the ball.
Sopkins find Montella, just 10 seconds left on the clock. Back out to Montella. She'll pull a three. No good. Rebound pulled down Woolridge. Up and good. No box out underneath from Thomas. And Woolridge was able to grab the rebound and put it back. 31-14. The Bobcats have extended their 2-point halftime lead to a 17-point lead going into the fourth.
So we said it was kind of those big runs. So Peoria only scored 3 in the first quarter, 2 in the third. Now Palatine scored 13 in the first, but only 1 in the second. So maybe Peoria can hold them in the fourth. But we're looking like another back-to-back championship for Palatine. They're getting that big crowd cheering for them too.
Horbach had a big third quarter, scoring 7 of her 11 points in that quarter.
But we mentioned too, she hit 4 right away in the first quarter. We said, you know, Montella had her 10, but we needed Horbach to score more, and she did exactly that.
Now, this is an uphill battle against the #1 seed going into the fourth quarter, down 17. We talked about it going into the second quarter. The lead was much less substantial, but what do the Comets have to do to get back into this ballgame now down 17 with 6 to go?
I think the big thing, one, is to keep composure because they're really frustrated and all these things. In the second quarter, 2, Miracle Thomas hit a 3 and just kind of helped them start rolling. So maybe hit a 3, get a quick bucket. They get something right now in this possession that'll help morale.
Do you think it's an issue that they've never lost? And here's the inbounds pass is stolen by Montella. Right-hand layup is good. 19-point Bobcat lead as the inbound comes into Hess. It's knocked away. Montella ran into Hess. No call. Hess all the way to the basket. Right hand up off the glass is no good. Rebound fought for, and I believe pulled down by Lee. And it was tied up by Sopkin. 5:42 to play in the fourth quarter. Bobcats 19-point lead.
Now you mentioned, Peoria is 25-0. There weren't any close games this weekend, so they're probably not used to this as well.
Montella thought about the 3. Hold it back. Now here's Schmidt. Tried to go into the post to Horbach, knocked away by Craig Edwards. And the reverse by Schmidt is missed. Montella, the putback, no. Woolridge up and good with the left hand. 21-point Bobcat lead with 5 minutes to play in the fourth. Craig Edwards.
Woolridge is everywhere on the rebounds. She really stepped up in the second half to get a lot of the offensive rebounds for her putbacks. She's been getting fouled. She's getting her putbacks. She's been the key to this big run in the second half.
Craig Edwards was bumped by, I believe that was Horbach for that last foul. It was Horbach's first, team 5th. And we've got another foul on the Comets. And that will send a Bobcat to the free throw line as we are in the bonus. It'll be Schmidt on her way to the free throw line.
Once again, it was Anna Schmidt stealing an inbound pass. She's everywhere. She's been playing some amazing defense today.
And the foul was on Miracle Thomas, her second, team 8th. Schmidt looking to extend this 21-point lead. The first is up and no good. Rebound pulled down by Hess. Hess crosses over on Schmidt. She'll make her way to the basket. Tripped on her way and traveled. And you're starting to see the frustration set in.
Like you said, I mean, the 20-point lead, it'll get to you. They're junior high girls, and they're doing a great job. This was a great championship game. Still got 5 minutes to go. Got
another loose ball. The last touch by the Bobcats. It'll be Comet basketball. And Fuller checks back in for Hess. And the Bobcats still putting pressure on the backcourt, up 21.
It's just Montella on Beck. There wasn't real pressure on that one. They were just making sure Beck doesn't get the ball.
Here's Edwards into the lane, some contact, no call. Craig Edwards with a right-handed runner. Here's Montella into the lane with the right-handed good. 37-14, Bobcats ahead. 4.5 to play. Craig Edwards will make her way into the lane, and she's grabbed by Horbach. That'll be on the floor. And the Comets will have the ball underneath.
That's Palatine's 16th foul, so now Peoria will be shooting 1-and-1 on the next foul.
And checking in for the Comets is number 20, Deja Foster. She replaces Denali Craig Edwards.
It's not over. It's not over. Don't let them back in. They're too dangerous.
And Montella knocked it away, and it was last touched by Beck. And Laval will check in for Sopkin. And Medris will also get some time replacing Wooldridge. 23-point Bobcat lead. And here comes Schmidt quickly across the timeline. Weaving in and out of Comet defenders. Finds a way to the baseline. Tried to get it out to Horbach. Does. Horbach, right-hand runner in the lane, is no good. A couple of players hit the deck. And Fuller comes away with the rebound. Here's Faith Hill. Across the timeline, crossing over. Met by Schmidt. And Schmidt grabbed Hill for the Bobcats' 7th foul, and that will send Hill to the line for 1-and-1. And checking in for the Bobcats is Gracie Gentleman. She'll replace Anna Schmidt. Schmidt had a heck of a game defensively.
Oh, she played great. She really caused, I think, a lot of the momentum swing. So many steals, jump balls. She did a great job defensively.
Faith Hill's first free throw is around and down.
I think that'll help too with Peoria. Just kind of get a point. It's been a rough second half. At least got that free throw in and see what happens now.
And now the bonus for Hill is up and good. So Hill goes 2 for 2 at the line. 37-16, Bobcats ahead. Inbounds pass goes to Lavelle. Lavelle working on Rudbeck. Now Fuller guarding Montella. Back to Lavelle. Lavelle to Horbach. Horbach from free throw line extended. Right-hand runner is up and good.
She's been doing that all game too. What a great runner from the baseline.
And Rudbeck will handle it for the Comets. Up ahead to Hill. Hill looking to drive. Sure, step back three is a long one off the top of the backboard. No good. Rebound pulled down by Montella. Montella looking to break. She'll get it over to Laval's. Lost it out of bounds. And it'll be Comet basketball. And the Bobcats check in 2 players. Marissa Vadica and Morgan Lind.
Palatine's pulling their starters already and starting the celebration.
3:24 to play. In this 4th quarter, Palatine holding on to a 23-point lead. Here's Rudbeck out to Fuller. Fuller will pull a 3. That one's short. Rebound tapped around. Last touched by Beneja King. And now for the Bobcats, Kaylee Rowe checking in. Here's a deep inbounds pass to Vadica. She'll bring it across the timeline with the right hand, kill the dribble. Now back up top to Gracie Gentleman. Back to Vadica. Now Lavelle swung back around to Rowe. Bobcats just working it around, killing some clock. Rowe lost control, picked up by Faith Hill, but she stood up after gathering the basketball on a knee.
Unfortunately, when she grabbed the ball, her knee was on the ground, so when she lifted the knee up, it was a travel.
Here's Lynn looking to inbound. Came real close to a 5-second call, but got it into Gentleman just in time. Bodica, right-hand drive into the middle. Tried to find Lind on the wing and couldn't. It'll be out of bounds, Comet basketball. Well, if you've enjoyed this broadcast, we're lucky for you because DVDs of this game will be sent to schools in approximately 3 weeks. Each participant and coach will get a copy, as the Comets tried to get it inside with no luck, and Lynn tried to get it up ahead, or Vodica tried to get it up ahead to Lynn, had it knocked away. Lynn came away with it anyway. Lynn's pass back out, hits the scores table, and it'll be Comet basketball. 23-point Bobcat lead. We talked about it going into halftime. It was a 2-point ball game, and the Bobcats really came alive in the third quarter.
Yeah, they just blew it away. They played Palatine basketball, and they started scoring, and then unfortunately, Peoria got into foul trouble too and just couldn't get any baskets.
Rudebeck missed the jump shot after some nice ball handling by Spratling, but Rudebeck gets it back on the way to the basket. Right hand on the left side, no good. Rebound tapped around, and Spratling and Gentleman go to the ground, and Gentleman was out of bounds. It'll be Comet ball.
Great hustle.
Great hustle.
Girls diving on the floor, flipping it up to their teammate. This is great to see these girls hustling too.
So Spratling to inbound to Rudebeck. Rudebeck crosses the timeline, switching hands. Her right-hand runner high off the glass, no good. Rebound pulled down by Lavelle, knocked away and stolen by Hill. Hill's shot is up off the glass and good.
Nice tough runner with a hand in her face even.
And she cuts the lead to 21, and here comes Lavelle. Looking to get it up ahead to Rowe. Rowe mishandled it, threw it up, no good. Rebound tapped around, Rudebeck pulls it down. She's got Fuller up ahead. Fuller couldn't grab the outlet pass.
Great look, threw it a little too hard.
Great idea, just couldn't come down with it. And here is Lind. Morgan Lind looking to inbound. Does to Lavelle. Lavelle dribbling in the backcourt. Met by a couple of Comets. Trapped and gets it away to Gentleman. Gentleman needs to get it across soon, and that's a 10-second call. So the first one of those we've seen today after some good defensive pressure in the backcourt.
Both teams played full court man there for a while, and good pressure, and got your first 10-second call.
Here's Spratling. Just about 70 seconds to play as she crosses over in between the legs. Back over to Hill. Now Hill thought about the three. Spratling working on Rowe. Right-hand runner is no good. Tapped away. Fuller comes away with the loose ball. Kicked out to Rudebeck. Rudebeck crossover into the lane. Her runner is off glass, no good. And Gentleman looking to work the ball up the floor for the Bobcats. Couple of nice, nifty dribbling moves up ahead to Rowe. Rowe missed the layup. And here comes Rudebeck. 1-on-3 down the sideline. Had the ball knocked away by Lavelle. And look at this scrappy play still.
They're flying all over the place.
Absolutely. And we've got a whole crew of Bobcats that are going to see some action here in the championship game.
A 30-second timeout with all the subs in.
So checking in for the Bobcats is number 42, Carly Grubbs. Number 34, Case Erlacher. And as soon as we are showing the rest of them, I will get those names to you. 32 seconds here to play in the contest. Bobcats with a comfortable 21-point lead. And Caroline Montella, one of the other new Bobcats, as well as Megan Kim. 32 seconds to play. Here comes the inbounds pass to Montella.
Still full court press.
Montella met in the back court. Got it ahead to Erlacher.
Oh, nice
Erlacher,
Rowe
up off the glass and good. And here comes Spratling, moving the ball down the floor quickly with just 15 seconds to play. Gets into the lane, kicks it out to Fuller. Fuller's jump shot is short. Grabs her own rebound, tried to tip it, couldn't. Spratling tried to go up and was fouled. And she'll go to the line for two. 41-18, just 7.3 seconds to go before we crown the Bobcats of Immanuel Palatine with yet another state championship.
they played a great game again. We talked about them wearing teams down, and the third quarter was just amazing.
In this, their 29th state appearance. Their state record is 92-19.
They have, 11 They have 11 state championships, so this will be their 12th.
Their 12th in their 29th appearance. Spratling's second free throw is up and no good. Rebound pulled down by Urlacher. She had it knocked away by Spratling. Ball fought for in the corner, and it's going to be it's going to be Comet basketball. Last touched by Case Urlacher.
3 seconds.
Comes the inbound to Spratling. Head fake, tried to throw up a three, had it partially blocked, and that's going to do it. The Lady Bobcats from Immanuel Palatine are your 2017 LSA champions in the women's division.
Congratulations to both teams, but once again, we want to congratulate Coach Glazer and her staff on winning another championship. And what a great weekend again on the girls' side. We always want to thank the LSA too, all their volunteers for making this an amazing weekend. And Sam, it was great again to do this with you. And once again, congratulations to the Lady Bobcats.
Absolutely, we'll congratulate both teams. And as the Christ Peoria Comets come away with second place, well-deserved. This is their first loss of the year. 25-1 on the year, and that one just had them fall one short.
But that one loss in the state championship game to Palatine, I would not walk out of this gym with my head down, that's for sure.
Not even a little bit.
They had a great season and a great game.
I have enjoyed my time with you here, Matt, yet again. And we will see you next year. Again, congratulations to the Lady Bobcats of Immanuel Palatine. For Matt Gutzler, I'm Sam Krull. The boys' championship will be coming up shortly after the trophy, MVP, and all tournament team selections are announced. Until then, we'll talk to you later.